Robbie here from ArsenalFanTV at the home of football, the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal. Now, 20 years ago, September 1996, Arsenal made probably their greatest signing of all time, and that was to sign the manager, Arsene Wenger. And I remember the headlines in the papers when they signed him. The headlines read, Arsene who? Who? Who's Arsene Wenger, everyone was asking. Arsenal signed and bought in a manager from the Japanese J-League. Grand Passé, who's he? You know what? 20 years later, the whole world of football, unless you live on another planet, knows who Arsene Wenger is. He's simply one of the greatest managers of all time. Of all time. Remember what I said, all time. Now, his record since he's been there, he's won 3 league titles, he's won 6 FA Cups, he got to the final of the Champions League, was unsuccessful, was unable to win it, but he got to the final. For the 20 years that he's been at Arsenal, every single year, he's got into the Champions League. Not one time have Arsenal finished outside the top 4 in 20 years. It's absolutely incredible. Do you want to know how many managers has been in charge of all the other clubs since Arsene Wenger's been manager of Arsenal? 232 managers have been in charge across all the various clubs in the Premier League. 232. And Arsene Wenger's still here. It's absolutely incredible. It's such an awesome record. Now listen, I'm talking about all the nice stuff first, right? And it has been an incredible reign. I mean, as I said, 20 years straight, he's got this team into the Champions League. And that is no mean feat. You see teams like Spurs. How many times have they been in the Champions League? I mean, getting into the Champions League last year for them was the first time they've been in it for a few years. And this is Spurs, a team that are spending millions. Liverpool, not in the Champions League this season. Chelsea, not in the Champions League this season. Man United, not in the Champions League this season. Teams that have got unlimited budgets. And this guy has always had the team in the Champions League. It's been an incredible, incredible record. Now, things are going to be argued against him. And the main one's going to be that since the move here to the Emirates Stadium, he's not won the league. At Highbury, he was brilliant. We were winning titles. But since we moved there to the Emirates Stadium, league-wise, it's gone downhill. We've won 2 FA Cups, but we have not won the league. And it's one of the sources of massive frustration amongst all Arsenal fans, because when we first moved there, we were being told that we're moving to this stadium because it's progress, so that we can compete with the very best in the world. And a lot of fans are like, well, hold on, when we was at Highbury, we were competing. I mean, we won 3 league titles there, and we've come here now and we haven't won it at all. I mean, I know we came second last year, we were runners up, but let's be honest, we weren't close to winning it. The season before that, 3rd, 4th the season before that. But what we all crave is winning that title. Now, has it been Arsene Wenger's fault? Or has it been the fact that moving to this stadium, the financial constraints were so much that actually we weren't really able to compete, and Arsene Wenger had to rein everything in? I mean, certainly it seemed that way over many years. Some of the players that we've lost, like Fabregas and Van Persie and Nasri and all these players, just as we were starting to go somewhere with them, we've had to sell them. So definitely there's been constraints on him. He's even admitted that since he's been to the stadium, it's been really difficult and he just has not had the budget to spend. And also the other teams have stepped up. The competition with all the TV money has meant that, you know, even your regular teams now can scout and get great players. And you've got teams like Chelsea, Manchester City that are effectively run by sugar daddies or run by countries, Manchester United. So it's really, really difficult to win the league, but every fan here craves us winning the league. And at the moment, that is the real blot against Arsene Wenger's copybook. The other blot is the fact that he hasn't won the Champions League. He got to the final, got beaten in the final by Barcelona. We've been in it every year, but a lot of fans are like, what's the point in being in it if we don't win it? So that is another blot on his copybook that I'm sure he'd love to put right. But there's no denying that this guy has been a fantastic manager at Arsenal Football Club. The only manager in recent times to have a team go all season unbeaten, the Invincibles, 49 games undefeated. And I remember at the time when we were closing in on it, or no, not even closing in on it, it was about halfway through the season, and he said to the press that, you know what, I think this team can go a whole season unbeaten, and they were laughing at him. And he did it, he achieved it. He's just been an absolutely incredible manager. No matter what you think of him, he has the respect of every fan in the world of football. I mean, a guy said to me the other day, he said, Arsene Wenger, and this guy was a guy that's like, you know, somebody who would like to see Wenger go and for Arsenal to bring in a new manager. And he said to me, he goes, you know what, Robbie, he goes, Arsene Wenger's like, when he goes, it's going to be like splitting up with like your wife or splitting up with an ex-girlfriend that you really loved. In that you're really going to appreciate them when they're gone. At this time, at this moment, he goes, you're getting on my nerves, but when they're gone, you start to miss all the little things that they did, the cooking. You start to miss the fact that they really looked after you, that they showed you so much love. It could be like that with Arsene Wenger. The day when he goes, and it could be this season, because remember he's in the last year of his contract, we might miss getting into the top four. Something that we all laugh about now, something that we've become used to, all the European trips and that, we may miss that. Because, you know, the next guy that comes in to achieve what Arsene Wenger's done, it's going to be really, really difficult. Arsene Wenger revolutionised football at Arsenal, revolutionised football in the whole country, changed diets of football players, changed the way they train. That was all down to Arsene Wenger. The guy's truly a revolutionary, and no matter what you think about him, he's going to go down as one of the greatest football managers in this country of all time, and definitely, for me, the greatest ever Arsenal manager. What do you guys think? I want you to leave it in the comments below. I want you to tell me your great Arsene Wenger moment. For me, as I said, no matter what you think of him, whether you're Wenger in or Wenger out at the moment, you have to admit that this guy is a true great.